Well, here we are once again, and this is Andy Alberti. I'm in Pahrump, Nevada, and I want to kind of keep going about this saga we have with our local that's owned by everyone who pays a bill and buys electricity from the company. And each of us are owner members, and I'm not disappointed that I didn't win the vote. But what I am disappointed about is the fact that they are declaring people winners when they did not win. And let me explain. That you're what it looks like. And I don't know, hopefully that's not backwards when you see it. But these are the rules that your company is supposed to operate under. Just like a homeowners association has a set of bylaws. And when you go to a meeting of the homeowners association, nobody is ever excluded from those meetings. When you go there and the way the association is run, which I have done in the past. One of the issues that I've covered has been of what are the exactly how do we do this? And it's my opinion that when you have a group that's fairly large, you should, and it's a group of the members, because Robert's rules were established and they're well known throughout the country and the industry as a way to conduct meetings of larger groups of people. It provides a basis for how things will be done. This does not happen at Valley Electric. They make up their own rules as they go along. And I'm going to tell you one rule that really bothers me. On meetings of the members, what type of meeting is a meeting of directors? Now, the public is entitled, or the members are entitled to go and watch how the board functions. They might get to make some public comment, but the decisions are all made by the board of directors. The other type of meeting is a meeting of the membership, which means all of us who have a piece of the action, so to speak. And it's because of that that I have some grave concerns. Many of them are holding office illegally during 5 of our bylaws. It talks about voting. And it says, each membership shall be entitled to 1 vote, which pursuant to this section 5 shall be exercised except as provided by law, either in person, by proxy, by mail, or by electronic means. So far, that's fine. If a vote is cast using any of the 4 above methods, the membership voting shall be deemed to be present at that meeting. So even if you mail in your ballot, you're considered to be present at the meeting. So at any meeting of the members, not the board of directors now, but the members, each person each person shall be limited to the vote of their own membership and 1 proxy. And only 1 proxy. Now we come to the part that's very disturbing. All questions shall be decided by a majority vote of the members, voting thereon back to the body. And what has happened here is that the board of directors, the lawyers advising the board of directors, and the he calls himself the CEO, the Chief Executive Officer, have decided that they can't use majority vote. They need to have a majority. Now, what's a majority vote? A majority vote means you have to have, of all the people who voted that day, including the mail-ins and everything, you have to have a vote of 50% of the voting people plus 1 vote. That would constitute a majority as opposed to a tie vote. That did not happen. I asked how many people cast votes and what was the number to consider the voting result a majority vote for the winner. And the answer, I mean, there were like 9 or 10 people running here. You didn't have a snowball's chance in hell of getting a majority. And they declared the incumbent the winner, and he didn't get a majority of the votes. That don't want to follow the rules that they themselves have established. Is that not a corrupt entity? Maybe we should be thinking about removing some of these board members who never received a majority vote. What should happen is that if you don't get a majority of the votes, the two top vote getters should have a runoff. So one of the two will then by Tom Husted, the CEO, and Pete Gazzi, is that with over 1,000 people voting and so many people running for the office, you'd never get a majority. And the bylaws don't provide for what to do if you don't get it. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the bylaws are the bylaws. If I don't pay my bill, they're going to tell me I have a problem. They have actually issued a trespass order against me, which has there's no condition in the bylaw for that. And yet they've done it. And all I've done is ask the questions. I have never brought a gun to a meeting. I have never been disruptive at a meeting, but I do ask that they follow the rules. So if you live in Valley Electric, wise up. The people running Valley Electric are taking it far outside the scope of their 501c12 tax-exempt designation. They're going to be taxable one of these days, and they're using my money and your money to do that. So here's my suggestion. First, we should replace a number of the members of the board of directors. There are only 6. To me, I look at other boards, and typically you'll see maybe 9 or 11 board members. The original creation of our nonprofit was for 6 people to help manage their cooperatives. So my first suggestion is let's increase the board to 9 members. And if we did that, maybe some of the power of the people who were pulling these shenanigans would be reduced. There would be some people to speak out. And the other issue that I'd like to see them do is this company, our company, through its board of directors and CEO, have decided to expand into areas that were never intended to be used to produce electricity. And I talk about power line repairs for other entities. I'm talking about providing radio and television and phone service. Just a wealth of things. And they want to expand far out beyond. They even want entities. So if this is what they want to do, that's fine. What I'd like and set it aside as a separate entity, not private, still a 501c3, C12, and set it up so that that stands by itself and give us the lowest possible electric rate and the best service for power that they can. And then take the others and do whatever they feel they want to do. Separate the two out, protect our nonprofit status. So with that, that's my idea. And I am advocating that between the 2 people that had the highest votes at yesterday's, and I was not one of them, so it doesn't affect me, but I believe that the 2 people that had the highest votes, neither of which got a majority, should have a runoff. And let's see who should be sitting up today. Some things to eliminate this trespass order that was filed against not only me, but against 6 other members of Valley Electric that are part owners. I don't see how an employee can issue a trespass order against an owner. Somebody's going to have to explain that one to me. And let me tell you a little secret here. Nobody at the state level of government The Attorney General's office has a division of consumer affairs. Now, we all as owners become owners because we're consumers of power at Valley Electric. Well, if that's the case, why does not the state want to come in, especially these trespass orders and these votes? They say they have no interest. Well, I have no interest in Adam Laxalt or his crew or his ilk continuing to be in office for any reason whatsoever. The Republicans are after him to remain in office, but I'll tell you what, if he isn't out to look out for the citizens under his consumer his consumer protection agency, then he doesn't deserve to be there. Neither do those people in that agency. So that's it. Today is March 23rd, 2018, and that's my story. Thank you very much for listening.